Hello, today I'm going to show you what we're doing for dinner again. This is going to be a spaghetti bolognese. It's just quick, it's easy, but the sauce is actually really easy to make if you've got a few basics at home. So in this frying pan I've put in, now I wish I'd remembered I'd got the bacon out to put in this first, because I actually haven't fried my bacon off first. So what I would do normally is put the bacon into my saucepan first, chopped up, and then I would add the vegetables into it. But I've chopped up my bacon, it's gone in with the vegetables unfortunately. To that I've added an onion that's been chopped up, about a clove of garlic that I've chopped up. Again, if you've got garlic paste, that would be fine to use in place of that. And then really whatever vegetables you want to add in this. Carrot, I've just peeled and put a carrot and a half in. And I've got a stick of celery in there that I've washed and chopped up as well. All of the pieces are sort of similar sized in there. And like I say, normally I'm going to turn the heat on this in a minute. I would have put the bacon in first, fry that off, and then add the vegetables. There's about a tablespoon of oil gone in with that. To be ready for the rest of this though, so that I don't have to be backwards and forwards and finding ingredients, I've chopped up some softer vegetables, and this again is really whatever you've got in. So this could be courgettes, this could be any sort of softer vegetables. I've got some tomatoes that are starting to feel very soft, so I want to use those up. There's no tinned tomatoes in this, so this might be quite nice. I've got some pepper, half a pepper that I had left over that I want to use up as well. You're going to need some mince to use. I've got half a packet of mince that I'd used the other night, so I'm going to use the other half tonight. So that's going to go into this. I've got some seasoning with some black pepper. Like I've said previously, I don't use an awful lot of salt, but if you like salt, you can add salt to this. Stock cube. Stock cubes will add a salty flavour anyway. If you've got a bay leaf works well, but remember to take it out at the end because they're not really edible. And then some herbs in there. I've got some Italian seasoning, but really any dried herbs. If you've got mixed herbs or oregano, feel free to put those in. And then there is no tinned tomatoes, but you need about 2 tablespoons of tomato puree in this. If you haven't got the tomato puree, you could use a tin of tomatoes and just maybe reduce them down a little bit further. Now you can add other flavourings to this. I've got just a little bit of Worcester sauce left in this bottle, and I'm going to just add some Worcester sauce into this just to add a bit of a different tang to it. So I've got my saucepan here with my bacon. If you can imagine, it's just bacon that I'm frying off to start with. And all I'm looking to do is to cook the bacon through and to fry off the vegetables. I haven't put the softer veg in, I've only put in the harder vegetables, things like the carrot, things like the onion, celery. If you had butternut squash, that would go in here as well. I'm just going to stir these around a little bit and just try to cook the bacon. And you're going to rejoin me once this is softened down a little bit. The onion will go see-through and the bacon will be cooked. This has been frying off for about 3 or 4 minutes now. The bacon is now cooked and the onion is starting to go translucent. The carrots, the celery, they still feel hard. They're not going to be cooked yet, but we're going to simmer this whole sauce down in a little while. At this stage, I'm going to add in my mince. So in it goes. I'm going to wash my hands after adding that before I start stirring anything, because obviously I've touched all this. And then just use the spoon, or whatever it is you're stirring this with, to break up that mince. The aim here is for the mince to get cooked. We'll know when the mince is cooked because it will separate into individual strands and turn brown from this lovely red colour, or dark red colour we've got here. Should only take just a few minutes if you're on quite a high heat, which I am at the moment, but we do need that mince cooked with the colour change. Keep moving it round. Escapey bit of carrot over there. Nearly there. So my mince has gone brown now. I'm going to then add to this the vegetables that are soft. Now these aren't going to get an awful lot of time to go brown because we're going to add some liquid, and that's okay. because with these vegetables I could actually eat these raw. So these ones are fine to go in at the last minute. And to this then you're going to need to add your puree, about 2 tablespoons of puree. You then need to also add about 300 milliliters of stock. You can do this either way. I'm going to add the liquid in because I can hear that this mixture needs some liquid, and then I'm going to crumble in my stock cube. But if you've got stock cubes that don't crumble in, then you might want to dissolve it in the hot water. I'm going to crumble in that stock cube. And to that I'm going to add in the bay leaf that I had earlier. I'm going to add probably a tablespoon of the Worcester sauce, which is most of that. There we go, let's use that up. And then some of your herbs that you're going to add. These are just dried herbs and Italian seasoning here, probably about a quarter of a teaspoon of that. Last thing I'm going to do is just add some salt and pepper. I'm not adding salt, you can if you wish, but I'm adding some pepper in there. I'm going to give this a stir around now so that the stock cube will get incorporated. The bay leaf will go into the liquid as well. And I also want to get that tomato puree all around, because where I put it in, it just went into one place. And what I don't want is one little bit of the dish with puree and the rest of it being not so strongly flavoured. I'm then going to turn this down to a low heat, and what I want it to do is simmer, and simmer means little bubbles coming to the surface like this at the back here. I'm going to allow this to simmer for about 40 minutes. I can still see a bit of stock cube on the back of that spoon. So I'm going to take that out. That's going to have about 40 minutes. In about 25 minutes time I'm going to get a pan of boiling water on, ready for some pasta. You can use whatever pasta shapes you like, or spaghetti if you've got it. And then with about 10 minutes to go, I'm then going to cook the pasta according to pack instructions. What I'm looking for this sauce to do here is to cook out the vegetables so they will become soft. It will also reduce, it's a reduction sauce, which means that it will reduce, it will lose some of the water that's in the sauce, and it will become a bit thicker, and the vegetables will become soft as well. And that's how it's going to be. Hopefully it will be about 40 minutes, and I'll just show you how it looks at the end. Thank you. So come back to this now. This has been simmering for 40 minutes. I have come out to it a few times and just given it a stir around so that nothing's stuck to the bottom. The sauce is reduced. It will have intensified the flavour. The vegetables now are nice and soft, so the carrots will break down and be cooked, which is lovely. I've also cooked some pasta. It's a bit of a mixture because it was the end of one bag and the start of a new bag, and I just get random shapes of pasta when I buy from the shops. And so I will drain the pasta off, put some of the bolognese on top, and then just sprinkle it with a little bit of cheese, and that's dinner for tonight. I hope that helps somebody if you fancied making some bolognese sauce. Thank you ever so much for watching.